Epic and Leet. And, you can't do that. You can't fucking put on a list. Listen, you can put yourself on a list in your own.
I'm on plenty of lists now. Okay, I just got my LTC the other day.
You can't put this Discord on a list.
Can you believe? I'm already in this Discord by association. Everyone here is on a list.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're fucked.
Yeah, no, you're done for sure.
The day a star fell, it was almost like
seeing something out of a dream. Nothing more or less
than a breathtaking view.
VGU Gaiden presents After Disaster, the Shinkai Trilogy. Episode 1, Your Name.
So you ever seen Your Name?
Yeah.
So by the way, I totally forgot about this until like noon today, and I literally just finished the movie like 20 minutes ago.
I finished it like an hour ago.
Which is perfect. It's fresh in my memory. Which honestly, yeah. I mean, do we want to officially start before we get into this? Do your little VTuber intro.
Before I do though, what's the deal with John Lennon? Do we not like him?
John Lennon? Yeah, no. John Lennon is like a notorious like woman beater. Like he's like an asshole.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. She's just
So where did this come from?
I saw a video.
I haven't talked about John Lennon in a while. It was nice not thinking about him. But...
I saw a video about him and I was like, why? Like, why do we?
Yeah, no. He's like a notorious woman beater. Was there another one? Like he's also like a known racist. There was like something else as well. He's just a piece of shit.
Fine with that. I don't need to like him. I just wanted to make sure I was in the right by thinking he's wrong.
I just need to make sure that I don't get canceled for liking John Lennon.
Right. That's what it's all about. I have a presence on the internet. I can't get canceled for bad opinions. I would look terrible if I had bad opinions on the internet.
Man, all I know is that I say some wild shit sometimes, and I got my full last name on Twitter. So
I love on the first episode I was like, you don't use your last name, right? Like, what? All right. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the very first of the actual like VGU Gaiden feed of Retrospective Film Podcasts. I put a lot of work into that thumbnail, into that Twitter account, into this feed. We got it all going, and I'm stoked to be here.
And I just watched a movie and showed up.
Yep.
I did a lot of work.
I try to make it as easy as possible for you, and yep, I set up the dates. I said you be there, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great that you're here. My name is Graydon Webb. I'm joined as always by DJ Risio.
Using my government name, okay.
You told me I could. You're J Risio, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You've got that whole thing.
Do you want my social security number too? My address, maybe.
I'll bleep it. I'll bleep the whole fucking thing. Redacted.
Yeah,
redacted.
No. Anytime I speak, just bleep it. Just
oh my
cut
God.
it out.
It'll be 5 minutes of me talking.
In fact, just jump cut. Don't even have me talking. Don't even bleep it. Just jump cut straight to you.
So just
hello,
this
whole
everyone.
thing would be like 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Comes down to me. And the worst thing is when I'm editing it, I can't I have to edit basically your audio because it's constant fluctuating of screaming and quiet and screaming.
I get very excited. I'm also looking into actually getting a better mic as well. So hopefully that'll help next time.
Yeah, that would be good. Sometimes you sound like you're in a little well, and sometimes you sound normal. So,
yeah.
Well, I hope I sound all right.
No, you sound fine.
Cool. You sound good too. So hopefully we're good. But what are we doing? What the hell are we here for?
Your name?
Your name. We are.
No, my name is DJ. We went over that already.
your government name.
That's my government name.
We are jumping in to a kind of film trilogy. I I decided to call this one because our last series, if you listen to it, was called Into the Monsterverse, and this one is called After Disaster: The Shinkai Trilogy. You like that one? Is that good?
Yeah, I saw you post. It was like after disasters, like that'll work because there is like a terrible disasters in all three of these movies, huh?
Yeah, it seems like the theme of them is that they are like they're referred to as disaster movies.
I think I think that's kind of a part of the like coming of age of like the emotional turmoil sort of relates to that because all these movies are like big like coming of age movies.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that's like thematically relevant for that. But yes, they definitely are, which like I didn't really occur to me until like I saw that you were calling it that. I was like, oh yeah, I guess they really are, aren't they? Um, and to preface this, so I've seen all three of these movies when they came out in theaters in the U.S. I saw them. I saw them in theaters day fucking one.
Really?
Yep. So funny enough, with Your Name, I think the first thing was I had read the manga A Silent Voice, and then I made my roommate sophomore year watch it, and literally like that week it was coming to theaters in the US, so we watched A Silent Voice. I was like, man, that was good. I wonder what other good anime movies are out there, because I always watch shows. I didn't really watch movies very much. And I saw there's thing Your Name. I found a rip of it on YouTube, and my roommates and I, we watched on YouTube. We were glued to the screen. um and literally again, like a couple weeks later it was in theaters, so we went and saw it.
Wow.
So like, and then from there was like we kept our eye out for Makoto Shinkai movies, and every time they've come out, we've seen them in theaters day one.
Huh.
Um, and Your Name is like, if I could pick any movie to watch again for the first time,
Oh,
it would be Your Name.
I honestly feel you.
Your Name is not my favorite of these three, but I do think it's the best.
Yeah. I so to give a little background on my side of it, I don't know if it was you who recommended this to me.
It was
I
probably me.
it
It was
may have.
probably me.
I was shocked today to find out that it was for a 2016 movie. I
Oh yeah.
really thought that it was like a more like classic anime type thing. It hasn't even been around for 10 years.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, 2016. Um, and then like Weathering with You came a while after. Weathering with You was like 2020,
Yeah, I think so.
2019, and then Suzume was just last year.
Yeah, and so with this one, I had heard about it definitely. Weathering with You 2019, yes. Um, but Your Name, I had heard about it and just never like when I hear about animes, especially when you recommend them, I don't think I gotta go watch that immediately, but I'll write it down and I'll be
Oh,
like, yeah,
okay, fine.
someday I'll get to it.
No, that's fine. No, no, don't worry about it. No,
Hey, I'll
that's
be
fine.
honest with you. You throw a lot at me.
I throw a lot at everyone.
I'm watching Kaiju number 8 because it's like it's here, we're here, and it's I'm happy that I'm a part of it as it's live, but this
But
is the
yeah,
first time I've ever done it.
even though for me, like, everyone knows like Ghibli, but like a
Yeah.
lot of the other like really popular like anime movies are generally like Dragon Ball movies or like Demon Slayer movie. Like it's stuff like that. It's a lot of shonen stuff, and there are plenty of movies that are more original and aren't based on something that come out of Japan, but they really don't get much traction unless if they're Studio Ghibli. And I feel like Your Name was the first time in a while that something like an animated movie coming out of Japan that wasn't Studio Ghibli, and it wasn't and like it wasn't like some spin-off movie or whatever that got a lot of traction outside of the country. And I remember it was a big deal because people were pissed off that like um there was a it kind of was one of the things that sparked those conversations of why the hell doesn't the Oscars ever bother nominating anything from outside of the country? Because I think it was people were
Yeah.
pissed off that Your Name wasn't nominated, but like Boss Baby won the Oscar for Best Animated Film. And it's like, I forget if it was
Probably that
that year
year.
or something else, but I think it was that year. I think it was that year with Your Name. And people were like, and Your Name wasn't even nominated. And people are like, it's fucking ridiculous. And then, people are saying like, well, people from outside of America outside the U.S. generally perceive the Oscars as just an award show for the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, the Oscars isn't supposed to be, but it definitely is. They clearly don't really care about movies outside of the U.S. for the most part. There are some exceptions, like Godzilla -1 was awesome and won that Oscar. But that tends to be how it goes. And these movies, though, picked up a lot of traction outside of Japan, which is really cool.
Yeah. I just looked it up so that I could know that. And 2016's, these are the Academy Awards, right? Yes, Academy Awards.
I think it was Oscars.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Oh, I don't watch it.
So the nominees for
Your Name wasn't nominated. I don't watch that shit.
No, it was The Red Turtle, which I'm not sure what that is.
No,
My Life as a Courgette. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's French. Moana, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Zootopia. And Zootopia won. And yeah, then you keep going, and it's like Disney, Spider-Verse, Disney, Pinocchio, and then this last year we finally got Boy and the Heron as like winning an Oscar.
God, that movie was fucking amazing.
But it
I
did
saw
take
that day
Disney,
one in theaters.
It took Disney to have a shit year for them to acknowledge something else.
Yeah, well, from someone who doesn't like watch a ton of Disney, they've had shit years for the past like 15 years. So
whatever, man.
Yeah,
I'm with you on Elemental being
shitty. Your Twitter headers. Shut up.
Listen, man. Whatever. So anyway, I'm giving you fucking praise for your Ghibli movie. Yeah, take that.
But God, these movies are so fucking good.
But yeah, so I'm happy that I took a chance on Your Name when I did. Someone that I worked with was also very loud about it, and then I remember talking with them a lot about it once I had seen it because I just didn't expect it to bring me to tears.
So was this your first time watching it?
Today?
Yeah.
No, I saw it.
So you and I watched Weathering with You together. Did you see it before or after that?
I saw Your Name before.
Okay.
Yes, I saw Your Name before, and I remember thinking I like Your Name better than Weathering
I
with
think
You.
Your Name is a better movie, but I like Weathering with You and Suzume more.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I do
very
think
excited.
Your Name is like probably objectively the best of the three, especially because like the twists and turns of it. There's so many like, oh my god, what the fuck movies or parts of the movie, and the ending has you screaming at your screen. Like, turn the fuck around!
I think I've never felt I didn't know going into this that it was like a plot twist film because I really just I don't know, I kind of keep track of those. I have a list of ones I want to see and things I want to avoid before, watching the movie. And this one, I think it's because it was so new, but I didn't know that. And then I watched it so close. Because really, when I watched it, it might have been 2018. Like it was shortly after it came out. And that's why today I was surprised that like, I was kind of on the cusp of Your Name. But yeah, I've still never heard people be like, oh, that's a really great plot twist movie. Probably because a lot of people are just afraid, in the mainstream at least, to recommend animes and to talk about them.
And that it's definitely an American or just Western thing as well, where it's like animation is for children, but it's really not. Again, animation is a medium; it's not a genre.
Exactly.
And Your Name's twist of the fact that they're actually 3 years apart and she's dead because of a meteor is like crazy. I remember the first time watching it being like, "Holy shit! Holy fucking shit!" I couldn't fucking believe it. And rewatching it now, there's actually some hints that she's older. So like I mean, it isn't like they're only 3 years apart, right? But even then, the technology you see around Mitsuha is generally older than the technology around Taki. Even though obviously she's in a rural area, he's in Tokyo, but it is a small hint. Like you see a lot of like CRT monitors and stuff in Mitsuha's part. But in Taki's part, it's generally like, like LCD screens and stuff like that.
So you're saying that before they drop the plot twist, you can kind of see a bit of it.
Yeah, there are hints, like, just because of like the technology difference. And now again, of course, it's like, oh, she isn't just a more rural kind of like boonies kind of area, so they probably are behind on technology anyways.
Mhm.
But it's something you can sort of take as a small hint.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
And it was funny where so I just watched the movie, my friend Noah, who had never seen it before. And he was like questioning like why can't they call each other? Like why don't they just go see each other and this and that? And I'm like, why don't you just watch? And eventually when it's revealed that, oh my god, she's 3 years behind him, is like, oh my god, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a two-parter at least.
It's like
twist.
Like it's a twist, but I don't know. Like it weirdly doesn't feel like a twist, and I almost feel like that's because it's so cohesively written. If that makes any sense, like the whole movie, even with the twists and turns, flows incredibly well.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of on the edge of your seat the whole time. Like it really is amazing.
Yeah, I was I would. It feels so weird as I'm trying to like, how are we structuring this? But we've kind of gone just like, fuck it.
Kind of always do that.
Jump. We kind of do always do that. I will say what I want to say when I get to that point. But yeah, let me kind of try to break down from the top a bit of what this film is.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it, though, I do not think I want to preface it. I mean, if you're already here, hello, spoilers, you've been spoiled. If you've not seen it and you somehow missed what we just said, don't listen to this.
If you're watching a retrospective on a movie you have not seen and you get upset about spoilers, you might be stupid.
I don't even know how to like word this. It's
you might be an idiot. Just stop watching. You're going to be spoilers. We shouldn't even have to say that.
It's one of the best like things I've ever seen. Like it's a gut punch.
It's a spectacle the whole time.
It is. It's so good. So anyway, starting at the top, you're kind of broken down from. It starts in like a flashback type of way, and then it goes into this. Well, it's flash forward, I guess, and then it's
yeah. That's the thing, is you think it's all flashbacks and stuff, and then it's revealed that it's not.
Right, and you have the story.
It's like there's technically like 5 different fucking twists in this film, but you don't really realize it as you're watching.
It's so all over the place, but at the same time,
but it's still really cohesive, which is incredible.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's peak.
The meaning behind our festivals was lost because of that. Only the surface was left. But even if those words are gone, the tradition shouldn't fade. That's the Miyamizu Shrine's duty, our important task.
I hate this town! I hate this life too! Please make me a handsome Tokyo boy in my next life!
Taki is our protagonist alongside Mitsuha.
Yep. Taki has that shit on for like half the movie.
Meaning what?
He's got that shit on, bro. He's dripped out.
Is that really?
For like half the movie, bro. Even when he puts on that jacket when he goes up the mountain, I'm like, damn, he got the Gucci Louis 3 bar logo. God damn, he got that shit on. I love Taki.
He's a handsome Tokyo boy.
Yeah, he is. Which is, yeah, actually, I have it here. That so she wishes that in the next life that she'd be a hot Tokyo boy, and I'm here like this implies that Taki is objectively hot, at least to the gods.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, when she yells that, a neat little detail is she's standing like under the gate that is supposed to be like a gate to like the realm of the gods.
Oh,
if you notice that when she yells that she in her next life she wants to be just a hot Tokyo boy, she's standing in the gate. When she screams that, which is a neat little touch.
Which is what we see in all of them, right? Like the trilogy.
Yeah, like Shintoism and like gods being real or whatnot are like a major part of all of these films. They definitely play much larger roles in the second and third film, to the point where they're directly speaking to them in Suzume.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just like implied to be real in this one, though. but you flat out see them in the next 2 films.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember Weathering with You things, and Suzume I know
like the back of my hand.
I know nothing.
There's a part in that we're going to talk about where I've seen Weathering with You like 10 times. I love Weathering with You. There's a part in that movie when we get to it that I burst into tears every time. It's so good. It's from raw emotion. It's not even sad. It's just raw emotion. It's so good. But Your Name.
Yes.
So good. A couple of things I also want to get out of the way. Fuck the producer.
Why?
He was arrested for the last year.
No.
Yeah, well, there's 2 producers. One of them was, yeah, just last year. He didn't produce the other movies, but he was involved in this one, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. The second thing, Radwimps, who they do the soundtrack for all 3. Holy shit, Radwimps is so good.
Yeah, incredible.
Radwimps, and they're very versatile. First of all, so did you watch the English dub or the Japanese sub?
So yes, that was kind of what I wanted to start with. I couldn't find this movie like anywhere. I could have sworn that I had bought it before, and then I couldn't find it.
It's on like Crunchyroll. I just watched it on Anowave.
Yeah, so I got a Crunchyroll free trial, even though my dad is paying for it now. I got to get that info.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you should just do that. They finally just added profiles like 10 years late, but
okay.
So you can make your own profile on that. It's about time.
I think Weathering with You is on Max, and then Suzume is on Netflix. So
Suzume, I don't know if it's on Netflix, but Suzume came to Crunchyroll really quick.
Okay. So I will find those ones.
Suzume is on Crunchyroll.
But Your Name,
Your Name is on Crunchyroll.
Your Name is on Crunchyroll, but only the dub. I originally watched the sub.
Weathering with You is not on Crunchyroll.
Oh. Weird.
But yeah, Suzume sub and dub is on Crunchyroll. But yeah, the sub and dub for this is different because I don't think the other films do it, but the music isn't in Japanese. If you watch the dub, it's in English. There are English versions of all the songs.
No, not mine. Not the Crunchyroll dub. No. Crunchyroll dub has all Japanese lyric songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's not how that premiered.
Well,
if you watched the dub, it had the English versions of the song. And in fact, I started watching the dub at first with my friend Noah, and then was like, I like the Japanese versions of the song better. Let's do that instead. So I watched that.
Yeah, they slap in Japanese. But I was loving it. It was great. I was very happy with that. My only problem with the dub.
Yeah. Sorry, I just quickly skipped through it in Crunchyroll. Yeah, they have the Japanese versions in the dub. That's so interesting.
Is that
if you watch the dub, I got to get this on Blu-ray, honestly, but typically it's like when they premiered it in theaters, I believe the dubs had the English versions of the songs, the sub had the Japanese versions, and if you go to find Your Name on like Anowave, where like I watched it so I could stream it to my friend, the dub has the dub and the sub has the sub. So that's actually really interesting. That's a neat discrepancy.
Yeah. It was cool. My only complaint was that they didn't have any subtitle, like no subtitles wasn't.
Yeah, they often don't do that, which is unfortunately. But it's honestly still like if you listen to the English version, it's actually weird how like they can actually just translate it almost directly. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was mostly pretty good. A lot of the like the texts on his phone weren't translated, which I thought was weird because I would sometimes there's like the long shots at looking at the phone and I'm like, what does it say? I have no clue what it says. But probably the worst bit of it, to jump ahead a little bit, when he writes "I love you" on her hand.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it doesn't say that.
So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe because I watched the sub and all of that was translated.
It puts the text on it over it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the hand said it like I love you.
Yeah.
Like
it didn't say that. So I was
really?
like,
that's interesting. That's really fascinating. Like
and I
the
forgot
discrepancies of the versions.
I had to see that on the wiki.
When I watched that with Noah, when the hand said "I love you," which I had forgotten about, I was like, "Oh my god!" And he was like, no. Like, he was like on that last like 20-30 minutes of this movie are an emotional roller coaster, and he was going through it.
Yeah, it breaks you. It's
like again, even when I watched this sophomore year for the first time, my roommates, that last like 15 minutes of the movie when they're older and they keep walking by each other, we are literally standing, getting out of our chairs, and screaming at the screen. Turn the fuck around! Turn around! Like I was telling my friend Kyle, because Kyle I saw all these movies with in theaters, and Your Name is his favorite. And I was telling him, like, yeah, I was still yelling, and he's like, yeah, that's the natural reaction. It's there's and
comes
like
out of you.
it's God. And then they're in Weathering with You very briefly as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see that again and just kind of see the little connections like that. But yeah, this movie, it's so, I mean, as it goes on in the beginning, it's not that it's a crawl, it's just this interesting like back and forth, like building up to something. But also,
I think it was very smart of them to use the montages, because the movie could have been a lot slower.
Yeah,
They have a
and
couple montages, and to like great effect, because
yeah,
not only does it keep it moving, but you also get to hear more of that Radwimps soundtrack, which really helps set the tone going forward as well.
and it just kind of tells the story of like his date, like that goes a little faster because you're like leading up toward
yeah,
it.
with Okudera, which like the restaurant girl, his date with her.
Yeah.
So I have a note here that says Okudera is bad as fuck. Goddamn. Yeah, she is bad as hell. I totally understand him. She's 24, by the way.
And how old's he?
17.
Oh, that's
so
rough.
It's
That's
a bit
that
different in
producer.
Japan. It's a bit different in Japan, I'll say. I mean, so I want to preface this, because when you know the age of consent somewhere, people are like, only weirdos know the age of consent. I'm like, no, because I saw something fucked up and I had to find out if it was true. So I know the age of consent in Japan federally is 16. And I only know that for the record because I saw someone, or no, it's sorry, not federally. Federally, it's 13. And I thought that was so fucked up that I had to look up if it was true. And it was. But like every province or state or whatever they are in Japan has it as 16.
Okay.
But federally, the minimum is like 13, and I think they recently raised that. And I hate saying that I know that, because the moment someone says they know what the age of consent is out and like in somewhere specific, it's suspicious. But I swear to God, I just read that, I was like, 13, that's fucked up. No way that's true when I Googled it.
You become that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but I guess I am. So it's like it's the age gap is still a little weird, but it isn't like super immoral. Like he's basically sort of considered a grown man, I think, by then. I mean, obviously, I'm not a Japan cultural expert. Maybe I'm wrong, but even then, even if I am, a big part of that though is and this is especially when we get to Suzume, is these coming of age movies have these sort of silly crushes that don't mean anything. And that's sort of his with hers. It's like he never had a chance. Well, he did actually have a chance, but it's like it wasn't like real love. It was just kind of this crush thing, like with like someone older that he saw as mature and interesting and wanted to sort of be like. And that's a big part of Suzume as well. And that, like, I actually almost wish we spent a little bit more time with them as a because I think it would have really helped hammered home that sort of coming of age theming of the movie. But even though they didn't, it's still like a 10 out of 10 movie. Yeah, anyways, all that from She's Bad as Fuck. I have a note here from when so like the guy like slashes her skirt with the box cutter or whatever.
Yeah. Fuck
I remember seeing that and thinking, bro's gonna kill someone over a $30 pizza. This is crazy. and then when Mitsuha in Taki's body sewed her skirt shut, I have a note here. It says, "Autism be damned, my girl can sew." Yeah, I love that. Actually, some of my favorite parts of the movie is them going about their daily lives in each other's body. It's a really interesting perspective that I really enjoy.
Yeah, my mind immediately went to imagine working in a restaurant that busy on your first night, not
Dude,
knowing a
she picked
fuck
that
about
shit
it.
up fast.
She did, but I was just
I
like,
have a note here. Damn, she picked up restaurant work quick. Oh yeah, and also the obligatory. Why does food in anime always look so good?
oh, that ramen,
It always looks so good, man.
dude.
Like I also love like she does that, and then there's like him and her body playing basketball, hip checking people. I was like, God damn, autism be damned, my boy can ball out.
And
It
the
was crazy. It
obligatory,
was like, and I was like, and they're both so much more popular because that. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Truly, girls make the best boys, and boys make the best girls.
true.
Right after that, I have again that Taki got that shit on because he had some great outfits in this movie. But my Noah had a note he wanted to throw in here that was he's throwing fits like an epileptic, which was crazy.
Oh God, you made me choke on my cheesecake. Wow.
There's some little neat parts. There's a lot of little Easter eggs, like when they're in like that little like shack or whatever, and they're planning how to evacuate the town.
Mhm.
There's like a Sega Genesis or whatever there. There's like a GameCube. There's a
Oh, wow.
PS1. There's a bunch of little things there. At one point, when Taki opens up his phone, he has Candy Crush on there.
No.
Yeah, he has Candy Crush.
Shit.
It's there. There's a couple of other things on there, but immediately I was like, that's straight up just Candy Crush. They didn't even like edit the icon. That's straight up just Candy Crush.
Of course, it was 2016. That's brilliant.
Oh, it's so good. The supporting characters, honestly, are amazing in this. And I
Mhm.
feel like even though they don't really do a ton, they're like awesome and they provide a lot of personality. Like
No, they're great.
Mitsuha's friends are straight up ready to blow up a substation because she said the meteor's gonna crash. And I'm like, holy shit, they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and
They're
Taki's
so
friends hype
real
him
for
up.
that.
They hype him up
Yeah,
all the
and
time, cover his shit.
Taki's friends are like, oh, you have a girlfriend in your dreams? Sure, man, let's go to the mountains. They're so cool for that. They're so real. Like
They're all
that's
great.
real as hell. I love them.
That road trip part is one of the funnest parts.
So that's
when they
why
go.
I'm excited to get to Suzume because I swear to God, some of the places they were in Suzume. Because that's a big part of Suzume is it's far more of an adventure and they go all over Japan. And the ending, like the last like half hour or so, is they're all in like these rural areas, and I'm looking, it's like I swear to God, some of these like backgrounds and stuff are in Suzume, or maybe just looks like it because it's just plains and like rice fields and stuff. So maybe it's just because it looks kind of similar, but I'm excited to get to Suzume so I can like double check that. But if that's one of your favorite parts of the movie, you are going to love Suzume. Suzume is a big road trip.
Yeah. I didn't look back at Your Name as like exactly coming of age simply because I hadn't seen it in a while. I forgot that it was a lot of that and less about like the mystery of things. Like there's this overarching mysterious bit to it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable and I can't. But I liked that it was a lot about like the friendships and their growth and learning about each other and the swapping of not only their genders but their cultural lives and their what's the word, like she was poorer and he was not, and just like
the contrast between the city and the rural life.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just got a
really
whole
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
that
a
is
whole
like
bit of that.
again, that's like one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, it's just really
It's
smart.
so good. You have this really. I also feel like it's sort of like Hamlet, where most of the movie is really chill and fun, and then like shit goes down on like the last 2 pages. But it
Yes.
all works.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like even like the movie visually gets darker once you realize that the meteor hit the town. The movie like visually gets darker as well.
It does.
Like it's like the actual like art style and the way like they're drawn with like the shading and lighting is just phenomenal.
Oh, it's one of the most
It's
beautiful things I've ever.
it really is. Like it's oh my god. I think it's up there with like Ghibli, like as far as how pretty it looks. And like
Yeah.
Ghibli is like a fundamentally different kind of style. You know, like the shading isn't like as intense and whatnot, but it's still obviously beautiful on its own. And I think even though they're two distinct styles, I really think they're up there with each other. Like these Makoto Shinkai movies are just beautiful. They're all spectacles.
Yeah, it feels like an animation style all its own. And I remember with Weathering with You, it looks a lot more. It uses that CGI a lot more. Of
Yeah,
just
with
like
like
the way,
the gods and the water gods and whatnot.
yeah, just like the way that it just kind of looks a bit more like futuristic, and that's why I
But they
was
still
surprised with
like make it
this.
fit when we get to Weathering with You as well.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
all it everything, even like the art cohesive. Like I God, like there's so much to it that like honestly, I'm tempted to just watch it again this week and like go through scene by scene slowly. Like it's so good, man.
In
Dude,
what Weathering or this one?
this one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
also
like.
like I was like maybe 3/4 of the way through this movie, and I was like, man, Koto Shinkai should make a Gundam movie. That would be cool, I
Yeah,
think.
I think he'd do cool things with explosions and the tension and just the landscapes. Like a big thing when you know
Yeah,
what goes
and a
on.
lot of the a lot of the like I know at least a lot of like the cities and buildings and stuff, but even like the landscapes and everything are all based on real places in Japan. Like there are things where people have like a scene from the anime printed out, and they're literally just holding it up in front of them, and it matches like 1-to-1
Oh yeah,
like a thing in real life. Like
yeah.
there's a ton of that, and that's all throughout these movies. Like all three of them is like
I
almost everywhere in the movies is like a real place.
I found a website and I'll link it in the description of like a tour of Japan with you were supposed to go to Japan once with
Still angry about it.
all the places.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
All the places of your name that you can visit if you ever actually make it to Japan.
I know where you live.
And there's a lot of like one-to-one pictures. It's very cool. And I think um when you watch this again and you know that like this whole land is going to get destroyed, you see how in the beginning they do a lot of focusing on the landscape. Like you see a lot of broad shots,
Yeah.
and the way that the panning, it looks like you're actually filming it, but it's animated, and it's
Yeah.
just like so
It's
crazy.
crazy.
The
I feel like
light
I
on the
forget it's
water.
animated sometimes when I'm watching it.
Yeah, like the light on the water
It's
and the way that the
incredible.
trees move and just like little things like that. It's like how it,
It's like, how did they do this?
yeah, there's so much love to this. I believe it's a fictional town. Like
Yeah,
like
I
her
don't.
town
Oh, I'm actually curious. I don't know. Hold on. Your name, town,
called Ito.
Itomori.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, or if it's based on a real thing. It's in the Gifu Prefecture. Lake Itomori. Is that like a real thing?
They called it Itomori, the town that vanished.
Oh, that's real.
It is?
Yep, that's real. All right.
The crater?
I mean, the crater is. It seems to be a much smaller, but it is. Itomori is a real place. Yes.
Wow. Is it a town in a crater?
It's not in a crater, but it's along like the big lake.
Wow. So they must have done some kind of research to try to get shots that look like that. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's a very big. It's definitely a love letter to the
Oh no,
rural
you know what?
and the
Here, the
urban.
thing I found was in French. The town I'm seeing is in India, unless if there's like another one. I can't
Oh,
tell because you look it up, you get a bunch of your name stuff, and then you get stuff that looks like it's from it, and I'm really confused now.
because you can't tell the difference between real life and
On
animation.
it, right?
No, they had to do some kind of referencing on some Japanese like rural town, but it's definitely a love letter to those landscapes and a lot of the culture. I mean, what the grandma brings with like talk of the gods and the
so
whole
Itomori
sake
has similarities to Hida, an actual Gifu town.
Okay.
Because I know there are parts in it, in the movie in the rural area where I've seen people do they hold up the photo, do it, and so I knew at least parts of the town were real. So it's called Hida. And it's worth noting, like Your Name is not the first movie to do this. Like there's a ton of other stuff that does it as well. I mean, these are not before Your Name, but in recent memory, Jujutsu Kaisen does it. A certain magical index, a certain scientific railgun do it with parts of Tokyo. There's Bocce the Rock, like half the show takes place at like this actual music bar. That actually it became so popular that they had to like put out signs to be like, hey, you can't come in here if you're just going to take a picture. Like it became a problem because so many people were going to it. But yeah, I do like it when they do that. It's just a neat little thing, like kind of neat Easter eggs to look for like what's real and what isn't.
Yeah, especially
I love that.
For people who don't know that area, don't know that culture, it's cool to see that recreated.
I also feel like they let the tension of evacuating the town drop sooner than I would expect, but to good effect. Because like you think she runs up to her dad and just gives him like this look, and then it shows the meteor hitting. But or like it's even like before that, she's running there. It has like this song playing like as everyone evacuates the city, and that's you sort of know everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And they do that a bit earlier than you would think. Like they don't keep you scared up until that last moment, which I kind of like actually. I thought it was good. And speaking of that whole meteor thing, my favorite part about this is the entire thing is basically just Taki saying, "If I was there, I would have stopped that shit." And my God, he was right. Holy shit, he was right.
He really was.
He would have stopped that shit. He did stop that shit.
And that in itself is a bit of a plot twist when they're just like, yeah, nobody died and everybody's fine.
And there's I think the most heartbreaking part of the film though is when they're both on top of the mountain at different times and they finally actually see each other.
Dude.
And as she goes to write her name on his hand, she just flips out of existence.
And the music just cuts out.
It's a dead fucking cut.
It's
and
so
that
good.
part is so heartbreaking. There's a lot of like, okay, it's all gonna be okay. Then it's not gonna be okay. And then it is, and then it's not. And then finally they show everyone evacuating the town, the music is playing, and you're like, it's all gonna be okay.
Yeah. And then they do the bridge thing, and you're like, it's not gonna be okay.
Yeah. It's like, turn the fuck around!
You're back to it again. It really is like that whole last half hour is this like I thought that this was a fun little ride, and then I hope nothing bad happens, and then oh my God, the bad happens, and then that last half hour is just up down up down up down.
It's crazy.
It's one of the wildest things that you would not expect
and
from
you don't
this
really
movie.
get that out of the other movies. Like it is pretty like straightforward of like, okay, this is rough, and then it's like, okay, we're good. Pretty like straightforward, like A to B, and not A B C like jumping around like this one kind of does. But that's again, it doesn't even with all the like back and forth, everything still feels very cohesive. And I think that's kind of why Your Name is probably the best of the three, even if it isn't my favorite.
Yeah, I think as a film, this one might be just structurally the best. I mean, I haven't seen Suzume, but it's just like this should have won an award. The other ones may be more fun to watch or something, but
I think the other one still should win an award. Absolutely. Actually, my funny thing is like, well, we'll get to it when we watch them, but the more I sit on it, the more I like Suzume the most, which is crazy because I came out of Suzume thinking it was my least favorite, but I still loved it. But it's one of those things where the longer I sit on it, I'm like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to watching these other movies a second time around, or Weathering with You a 11th or 12th time around.
But Suzume, you've only seen once?
I've only seen it once when I saw it in theaters, because that was like less than a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I have a little Suzume statue. I'll have to send you a photo of.
Who are you? And what did I even come here for? I came all this way to see her. I came to save her. I wanted her to be alive. Who was it again? Who did I come to see? Someone precious. Someone I don't want to forget. Someone I shouldn't. Who was it? Who was it? Who? What's your name?
I really can't wait to see what Makoto Shinkai does next. I do hope it's in the same universe as these, just because I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's all the same world, even if they're not related at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they're in the same world. Like you see Taki and Mitsuha briefly in the next movie. The ending of Weathering with You affects the world so much that you kind of see the results of that in Suzume.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
That movie does not end very great.
The ending of Weathering with You is crazy. I did not expect that to end the way it did, but we will get to that next time. Just again, man, like if I could watch any movie for the first time again, Your Name. Oh my god, I remember like watching this and thinking, this is pure gold. Like this movie is fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt that for all of them, but like watching Your Name for the first time, I was like, this is unlike anything I had ever seen before. And it still is unlike anything I have ever seen. Like, what Makoto Shinkai and his team there are doing is really, really unique and incredible. And I really, really can't wait to see what they do next. Even though it's probably still a few years out, as again, Suzume just came out. But God, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I just remember, like I said, that gut punch of that plot twist, and of just finding out that it happened, what's been going on. And when I came across it again, like I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was like the big thing of this movie, and it happened again. And I didn't get that gut punch, and I was like, man, this is so special, this film, that it really delivers. Like, it's still such a great film, and I'm never gonna like shit on it.
You watched it on your phone the first time you saw it?
No, the first time on a television.
I was ready to scream at you.
No, this time on an iPad.
I swear to God.
First time though, on a TV. That was before I had learned the joys of watching things on mobile.
It's messed up.
But I don't know. It's just something about like it just doesn't hit you as hard because it's so brilliant, and it's just
and I'll say it's also like because up until that reveal, the whole movie is very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And there isn't really any sort of problem or antagonist. It's just sort of them going through this really weird experience.
Yeah. You know something's coming, but you're just like, oh, the festival's gonna be fun. Oh, screw the festival.
Screw the festival. Screw the literature club. Yeah, when's Makoto Shinkai gonna make a Doki Doki Literature Club movie? Actually,
oh my God.
I played Doki Doki Literature Club the same year I saw Your Name. That was like the same year or like the same semester or something.
Were these like, what was the year that you like really jumped into anime?
So that would have been in high school, 2015, 2016.
Okay, so this was formative.
Yeah. So I mean, and this came into theaters like 2018 in the US. Like it took a while to get to the US. Yeah, they don't come the same time. They've definitely come over faster, but it's like Weathering with You was like a year apart, and then I think Suzume might have been like 6 to 8 months or something before it came to the US. Yeah, they take a little bit for like localization and stuff. But yeah, what happened was in like 2015, my buddy Johnny showed. So I shall say I used to be a proponent of anime's fucking cringe. You're a loser if you watch any anime. And then my friend showed me a video of the size comparison of the different mechs in Gurren Lagann and how big they get. And I saw this and was like, I must watch this immediately. And I came in that next Monday like I watched it twice. And it's all been downhill ever since. It's been a terrible spiral. Now I play like fucking gacha games and shit. I got like stashies. It's a problem.
Oh, you're a big fucking weeb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've just noticed that you changed your profile picture to a Gundam.
It was a Gundam before as well. Now it's another Gundam. I commissioned a guy. I'm waiting for the final product to come back, but I commissioned another profile picture of another Gundam.
Oh my
I'm
god!
waiting for that one to come through.
Is this one commissioned?
No. This is just a photo I found. I thought it was cool.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm waiting for a response from him because he sent me the sketch and it looked really cool.
Is it your face on the body of the jazz guy inside of his jazz Gundam?
Here, I'll post it in the chat so you can see.
Wow.
This is just the line art sketch.
So you found that and you were like, can you draw?
Yeah, that's the Turn A Gundam. It's one of my favorites, and this guy had some commission slots open, so I was like, dude, I want like my own custom like profile picture. So I paid him like $60 for that.
God.
He's still working on it though, but like yeah.
Sweet. Well,
your name.
That's Gundam. And that's your name.
That's your name. Anyways, Makoto Shinkai, please work with Tomino and make a Gundam movie. Pick a G Witch movie or something.
I think it said did I read? Yeah, this was put out. Now maybe everything is. I don't know how it works. But this was put out by Toho. So what if you made a Godzilla film?
So yeah. See, I mean, it's worth noting that Toho is like, I don't know if they're the biggest publishing company in Japan, but they're one of. It's like either them or Kadokawa.
Okay.
I don't know if Toho is like the absolute biggest, but it probably is, honestly. It's either them or Kadokawa. Toho and Kadokawa are those companies that are literally so big that they publish pretty much every anime that comes out, but they don't even bother putting their like logos at the front anymore like they used to. Because it's like, yeah, they do it all. For God's sakes, Toho published Monster Musume. They published Azure Lane? I didn't know that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the Azure Lane anime.
Was it bad? I thought you loved that game.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I enjoy the game. I was just a waifu collecting sim. But the first half of the show was good, and there was a delay, and then the second half of the show didn't make any sense. Which is a shame. But also they spent the entire animation budget on like the first episode. Oh, they published Mushoku Tensei? I didn't know that. They did Spy X Family.
Monster Musume. I had to look that up again. I forgot about that.
That was the degenerate one. Yeah.
Did that
There hasn't
end?
been a new chapter in 2 months. Where the hell is it? No, it is not ended. It goes on hiatus a lot because the author like fucked up his arm.
Okay. By drawing?
Yeah. No, that's like a common thing with mangakas where they draw so much in like positions they shouldn't that they permanently fuck up their bodies.
Wow.
And Okayato, the author, did that. The author of Hunter x Hunter did that as well. Hunter x Hunter author has it real bad. He can like barely draw for even a few minutes at a time anymore.
Really?
Yeah. But Toho publishes Kaiju number 8.
Oh, okay.
They publish Freerun Beyond Journey's End, which fuck, dude. Freerun Beyond Journey's End had me crying tears of sadness in the first episode. And then it like got better with each episode. I kind of felt happier, and then I was good. And then the last episode of the show, the last sentence, I fucking burst into tears again. This is one you're gonna have to watch that.
Maybe I will. It's on Crunchyroll.
That's one of the most like, it's one of the highest rated animes like of all time, I think. It really is like, even people who like only watch like shonen stuff, everyone loves Freerun. Now to put this into perspective, right? There's a site called My Anime List where people can rate anime and comment on it. And anytime something gets #1, people who really like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood get really angry about it, and they try to give it lower ratings so that Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is still #1. They have not been able to do that to Freerun, because Freerun is so good that it has so many positive reviews that they just can't get it low enough, and it's still #1. Because Freerun really is that fucking good.
Wow. I never even really heard about it.
It was like the biggest anime of like the past like year.
Yeah, and it was only from 2020 to this year.
Well, that's the manga. The anime ran from September of last year to March of this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like 28 episodes. It's fucking incredible. Definitely give that a watch. You'll be hooked on it like right away.
Oh, will I? Is that a promise?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You see, I hope that this isn't one of those things where I say yes, I'll add it to the list, and then I don't.
No, you need to like Freerun will actually like you know how you were like, yeah, sure, we'll watch Char's Counterattack, and then I showed you Char's Counterattack, and you were like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Freerun blows Char's Counterattack out of the water.
Oh my god.
Freerun is this incredibly emotional journey of self-growth. It is fucking amazing.
I like.
And they gotta get Makoto Shinkai on that.
They do. Yeah, to circle it back, another thing that destroyed me was the last sentence of your name. Because that is where
your name is?
Yeah, I fucking no. They were like, "Can I get your name?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think like is it in the dub that they say that, or is it your name is?
Oh, okay, yeah. In the dub, they're like, "What was your name?"
Like
your name?
I thought it was in the dub. I swear to God, in the dub I originally saw, they turned around and goes, "Your name is," and then it cut.
Oh no!
But considering the fact that we've clearly watched different versions, I'm really curious.
Yeah, this
there are clearly different versions of this movie floating around.
This dub ends with your name being the last words, and that was what really like hit me. Like I was like, oh my god, because then like the music kind of it doesn't kick in, but it comes back in slowly, and then it just kind of rises up into the sky, and then the title card comes, and it's just like
good money for like a 10-minute special that shows them getting married. I would pay good fucking money for that.
A Pixar short.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Well, so Makoto Shinkai confirmed like, yeah, by the end of Weathering with You, they're married.
Hell yeah.
And like by the beginning of Weathering with You, I think they're engaged, or he's like buying a ring for her or something. But by the end of that movie, they are married.
It's a weird thing because it's like, obviously, it didn't. They have no memories, but they have some kind of memory.
But they have like a gut feeling.
Right. So like you would think, they found each other, then like just fucking go for it. But they really don't know each other right now.
It's just kind of like instinct.
Yeah, just that instinct. Like, yeah, just fucking go for it. Because it is a happy ending. Like that's the thing.
What I love about all these is you don't. There's so much you're constantly thinking this is going to be a sad ending. This is going to be a sad movie. But none of these movies are sad.
No.
They are incredibly emotional, but none of them are sad.
Right.
And I think that's a sort of a feeling that they've really mastered with these.
Yeah, they make you tense. They make you feel things. They make you realize.
They keep you on the edge of your seat. Even though it's not like they're action movies, but they keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. They're very engrossing. They're a joy to watch. And they hit you hard in the feels, and then they leave you just satisfied. Like I would hate it if it ended with like a really just. I mean, I get that it's kind of like a cliffhanger, but it's a happy cliffhanger. If it ended with a bad one, and they just kept walking.
Yeah, and like I mean, it's implied, like now they're gonna get together. And then when Weathering with You comes out, like you see them,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm glad how it ends.
And again, just thinking about these, just kids are like, God, what are they gonna do next? What's the next movie gonna be? Because every single movie has been a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, he just makes nothing but.
Next up will be, who fucking knows, man. I'm staring at a Weathering with You poster I have, by the way. Like, as we talk about this, it's been over my computer for the past 4 years now. When I went to see Weathering with You in theaters, because we were one of the first ones there, they were giving out posters. So I have a poster up over my monitor.
And that movie's been like $50. Like, you can't buy the Blu-ray of that for cheap.
Aren't Blu-rays always like $50-$60 for movies though?
No, God no.
Really?
For
I know
a regular,
they used to all be like that.
A regular Blu-ray can be about like 20-ish, but a 4K will run you closer to 30 something at least. But for like Weathering with You's, it's a
Oh yeah, the Your Name Blu-ray's $27.
yeah. The Weathering with You might only be available in Steelbook though. That might be why it's more expensive.
Mine wasn't Steelbook.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I would buy that Your Name in a heartbeat.
Given mine was new as well. Yeah, honestly, I should get them all just because I bought Weathering with You so we could watch it.
Yeah.
I should just buy the others because I would like to have this collection, which is saying something because I never buy movies physically because I don't really watch movies.
Yeah.
Like the only like media I really buy physically is like manga. That's just to stock my shelf, and I'm half tempted to get rid of it all because now I need room for Gundams.
Well, I have all your fucking Berserk chapters, so don't worry. Don't worry about those.
Did I give you my Berserk books?
I've already taken them off your hands.
When the hell did I give you my Berserk novels?
I'm borrowing them. You gave me
no,
like
that's fine.
I
just don't remember doing it.
Yeah, I got
that's fine because you absolutely need to read Berserk. It's the best story ever told. Like
I'm only on like 3, but
I straight up don't even remember that.
Yeah,
that's fine though. Yeah, you need to
Berserk. But yeah, with those shelves, you can put some more Gundams on them. You have my blessing.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, is that all we wanted to say?
That's all I got.
That all your notes?
That's all my notes.
I mean, it was hard to make notes for this because I just wanted to watch it,
yeah.
which we're gonna have to learn to not do as much with. Like,
yeah,
we did that with.
Fair, like, I remember these movies pretty well because, like, again, Suzume I've only seen once, but I've seen this one a few times. I've seen Weathering with You a bunch.
Yeah.
So like I kind of knew exactly. It was more like I was looking for things that I didn't remember super well. I knew specifically which scenes. Weathering with You, I could probably go on about now. I love that movie so much.
I feel like you'll have more to you'll definitely want to say about that one, and I will too because I'm gonna be learning more stuff about it. I just feel like I only saw it the once. Maybe I didn't give it all my attention because I was I love you, but I was watching it with you. so I don't know how much I retained.
Fair.
But I'm excited to see that again and then get some fucking notes. I'm looking at my Your Name notes and I think I hit everything pretty much. The montages, the music was great. That one of my first notes I had written because it was like, do you want to it had the button to skip the intro and I was like, option to skip intro. What do I want to kill myself to?
And you know, one last thing about it is that like the movie isn't deep, right? Like literary and like as far as like being literature goes, it isn't really deep. Like that's kind of going to take notes. Like it's not like it's this esoteric cranial piece of media. It's just good, and they're all like that. I feel like going in depth, you could probably do more with Weathering with You, and then even more with Suzume. But they're not like these super cranial pieces of media. Like it's not like you're watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's just they're just good fucking movies.
Yeah, you don't have to pay attention to a lot of lore. You don't have to like have the ability to even like.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Even though they're related, you can watch them. However, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and like you can say this is a film about time travel, but like you don't need to be good at keeping track of that. Like it's such a layman's like easy to access film.
Yeah, and by no means is that a bad thing. It's if anything, it's good.
It's just a coming of age movie. A coming of age movie that's in anime form.
Yeah.
Like everybody should watch it. It's a damn good time.
Yeah, they should put these characters in Fortnite.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They should put the grandma on Fortnite.
They should put the grandma on Fortnite, absolutely.
And the last thing that I will say is, did you get the name of the comet from this film?
Oh, Tiamat, yeah.
Yeah, what a strange coincidence.
Yeah. No, I did think that was funny. Like, oh, that's neat. Well, it's I mean, it also makes sense because again, it's a god.
Oh, true.
That's a big thing with these. But yeah, I was thinking like, oh, like Godzilla. We were talking about that. But yeah, no, Tiamat is a god, so that is like, yeah, it just more fuel for that fire.
And Godzilla fucked her up, chopped her to bits.
Absolutely.
Just destroyed that bitch. Anyway, we're gonna destroy this bitch and get the hell out of here. But this has been our discussion of Your Name. We will be discussing Weathering with You next week. It feels so good to have structure to this. Like, I hope that I'm able to actually stick to this. It's nice. But thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Please share this. Please rate the podcast. I think you can do that. That's a thing. And yeah, I put it in a different feed because I want to like think of it as its own thing. And I hope that it just kind of is more accessible that way. So please share it around and follow us on Twitter. We are at VGU Film Pod. I'm at GreatLow777. He is at Lord Sweepy.
I'm glad you know my handle. I don't.
Yeah, you don't know that?
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd probably say like, yeah, it's because it's always either Lord Sweepy or it's Executive Sweepy, and I jump between the two.
Yeah, you're at Lord right now.
That's me.
What was your first 360 gamer tag?
Sulfuric Fool 05.
No, after that.
I'm not talking about that.
What?
I'm not talking about that, and I'm not talking about the one after that. We don't talk about those.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
were they like bad?
They're just really fucking cringy. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
They're just cringy as fuck.
I forget. Well, that was how that like. I don't know, before you were a bit more of a household name, my dad referred to you by one of those, and I just forget what they
I know the
like
exact
were.
one it is. I'll tell you
Oh
I'll tell you when we hit stop recording. It's so cringy. I don't like talking about it.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, I remember.
No, shut don't say it. Don't say it.
I will say I will not. I will not. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. And yeah, Weathering with You. Check it out. Or Your Name. What did we watch? I don't know. See you with the next one. Bye-bye.
Comet Tiamat, with an orbital period of 1,200 years, made a close approach to Earth 3 years ago in October. Nobody foresaw that its nucleus would split at its perigee. The fragment that broke off of it became a meteor and struck Japan. At 8:42 p.m., it fell right around where people were gathered for the festival. Over 500 died. It was a third of the town's population. And now nobody lives in Itamori anymore.